ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आविश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, canto 10, chapter 57, verse number 9. So in the previous class we studied how the problem of the gem, that Kritvarma and Akrura, they approached Satadhanu that he should go and take the gem by killing Satrajit. And he accepted the ill advice and went and killed Satrajit at night when he was sleeping and ran away with the gem. So then when Satyabhama came to know about it, she was obviously very sad because the father was murdered. So she kept the body in a big cauldron of oil, preserving it, thinking maybe Krishna can revive it. People think like that. Sometimes they think why devotees fall sick, why devotees have problem, why devotees even die. Many times some famous people whom people think they are some avatar, they do that. They keep the body and think he will come back. But it has never happened. So then she went to Hastinapura because Krishna and Balarama has gone to Hastinapura after they got the news that Pandavas and Kunti have been burnt in the fire. So that's where we stopped. So she went there. So these stories here, they are very practical. They are more useful for our life. What we studied before, the stories up till 47, 48 chapters, that is the ideal, that Rāsa-līlā. But this is practical, because this is what actually happens. That is more what should be and what we want to be. And that's why it is very difficult for people, especially those who are not devotees, to understand those pastimes of Krishna. Yesterday I was meeting with some very important person, and he was saying that all this Krishna having so many wives, all this Leela, he says this is all interpolation. Our history has been twisted and he is working to rectify it. He says there was no such personality as Radha. It came only into existence in some 16th century at the time of Akbar. He had an associate. Those who are from India may have heard the name of Ras Khan. Ras Khan was a famous Muslim poet, but he was in the court of Akbar and he was a devotee of Krishna. He wrote nice poetry in Braj Bhasha about Krishna Leela. But he says that actually he was not a devotee. He was sent by Akbar that you go in the guise of a devotee, and then he introduced this Radha concept. Then the Indians will accept it because you are a devotee. But if you just go like this, they will think, oh, he is Muslim and how can he speak like this, and they will refute you. And why it was done is, he says, because Muslims were not able to find any flaw with Krishna Leela, and with their own founder they had problems. So Hindus will give arguments against him and they would not answer, so they thought now we have to pollute their God also. That he was stealing the clothes and he had many wives and this and that. He was playing with girls when he was young. So this is what he also believes it, and he wants to rectify it. So there are many people who have problems with the stories of Krishna in Vraj, and they have big difficulty in understanding it. So that's why I said that it is an ideal thing, and people do not have experience of that ideal love. So here what is described is what actually happens in life. So there was another famous person who came to Vraj, Vrindavan, and he went to temples and he says, what is this? I don't see Krishna with Sudarshan Chakra here, everywhere is flute it is. He says, this is making us weak. We want Krishna with the chakra. So this is practical. So now we hear that story. So that Tadakraneshwarau Rajan Anushrutya Nilokatam Ahona Paramam Kashtam Ityasraksho Vilepatuhu. So when the two lords heard the news about murder of Satrajit, So they acted like ordinary human beings, nirloktam. And they said, oh, this is very sad, ahona paramam kastam. And they started crying and behaving as if they are in grief. Kastamiti asraksho. They shed tears in grief and sadness for the death of their father-in-law. So this is the practical thing. That's what people like to see. Then they feel that you have a heart. Otherwise they think you are a stone piece. So tat tasya vachanam shrutva ashrupatam vina vilapam cha bhininyu. So he says that after hearing the news, they did not drop tears, but they cried. Dry cry. Tearless. Sometimes children cry, but they don't have tears. So, cha abhininyu too, they acted like that. Abhina means to act. Lok samadhanartham ityartha. Why? Because this is what people expect. So therefore, lok samadhanartham. Otherwise people will say, what is this? They got such a bad news and it has no effect on them. What kind of human beings are they? So therefore they acted like that. And then they came back. Agatya bhagavans tasmat sabharya sagrajah puram sadhanvamara bhehantum hartum manim tataha. So then Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he returned back along with his wife Satyabhama and brother, and then he made a plan how to kill Satadhanu and get the gem back, because he has taken it. So why planning? What is the big plan he has to make? This is the practical application. He has a plan and he wants to execute that plan. So for that he is making a plan to show to people that he is making a plan, so that Satadhanu comes to know that he is making a plan. Otherwise there was no need for it. What is there? He has to make a plan. So he wanted Satadhanu to get a message that, look, I am going to kill you, so you better run away from here. So he wants him to run away. And he knows that he is not going to run away with the gem, so the gem will remain. And it will come to Akrura. So this was his plan. So he did not need all these plans in Braj, but here he needs them. That's what he is showing. Tatascha sa agatya jivaitum ashakto eva sashram vilepaturiti swabandhuna vadatiti gayam. So then when they came back, and then he saw that Krishna is not able to revive him. So then they cried with tears by seeing, because previously they only heard the news, now they are seeing the dead body and we don't have the power. Krishna got back the son of his guru who was dead long ago, but now the body is lying in front, he cannot revive him because he does not want it. So therefore he cried along with Balaram. So this is to tell all his friends and relatives that, so that they don't ask him. Otherwise in future somebody dies, they'll bring the dead body to him. Like that Brahmana will do, that his sons were getting stolen. So he didn't do anything. So that is also teaching that Krishna does not want to propagate such a thing so that later on people will trick others. Some people do like that they have power to revive this, revive that. Sopi Krishnodhyamam jnatva bhitah pran paripsaya sahaye krit varmanam ayachata sacha bravit. So Satadhanu, when he came to know that Sri Krishna is making big plan and big effort to kill him, so he got very scared, because everybody is afraid of death. So prana paripsaya. So he was worried about his death. He was not worried about anything else. Prana paripsaya means that the worry was only about his life and not that what will people speak, or I am a devotee, or I should not do it, this will bring bad name to Krishna, etc. Nothing like that. So that is to show his mindset. So then when he was in fear, he went to Kritvarma, because it is Kritvarma and Akrura who had advised him to do this act. So now when he is in trouble, he goes to him that please help now. I did what you told me. Of course, he is the one who is having the gem. And they said, why don't you go and take it? So therefore he goes to Kritvarma that now my life is in danger, so kindly help me. So now you see what he will do. What Kritvarma says. Naham Ishwarayo Kuryam Helanam Ramakrishnayoho Konung Kshemaya Kalpeta Tayor Vijinim Acharan. So he refused flatly. He says, I cannot go against Krishna and Balarama. They are the Ishwaras. He says, are you crazy that you want me to turn against them? But when he gave the advice, that time he was not turning against him. Because Satrajit is Krishna's father-in-law. So at that time he did not think. So this also happens in the material world. People will come with a plan and make you do something so that you get into trouble. And then when they come to you, you say, no, I cannot do this. So then you have to handle it yourself. He says that who can remain safe by committing an offense to Krishna? Tayor Vijnam Acharan. So he says, how can my life will be safe if I now try to help you? So he is intelligent in that sense. He is not like Satadhanu who did a foolish thing. And now Satadhanu, when he comes back to him, he is not thinking that, okay, I am the one who advised him, so I should help him. He says, no, I will not do it. So he is keeping boundary. That is keeping boundaries in Vedic psychology, right? So you see, this is called making a boundary, safe. He flatly refused. He was not empathetic to him that, okay, let me help you, this, that, nothing. Straightforward. He says, no. Immediately he says, no. So you have to see that is it for your benefit or not. Not that you put your neck, especially against Krishna and Balarama. So doing something which will bring harm to your devotion, or which will turn you against your God or your Guru or devotees, you should not do that. This is important. The other thing to be noticed is that he is not refusing out of love. He is refusing out of fear. So he is not saying that, well, I am a devotee of Krishna, how can I go against them? Not like that. He is saying vrijinam, tayor vrijinam, how can I turn against them? Helanam means also disregard. So he is more out of fear that he is doing this than out of love. So that's the difference. So naham iti ayam bhava. So the sense of saying that no, I will not help you is as follows. Maya Satrajit vadheva bhavan pravartito natu bhagavat pratikulle. So he says that I advised you to kill Satrajit. I did not advise you to go against Krishna. Says, I did not say that you should turn against Krishna. Now you are asking me that I should go against Krishna. So tvam yadi sharanam na yasi tvamiva kim ahamapi tat krutulo bubhushami. So in other words, what he is saying is that you should go and surrender to Krishna. He says you killed Satrajita, that is fine. Means he approves that. There is no problem with that. But now don't try to turn against Krishna. Then your life is in danger. And don't put my life also in danger. I will never do that. So you go and surrender to Krishna. He says, yes, I did it because he acted against me. He promised Satyabhama to me and he married it to you. That's fine. I have no problem. But I have to take revenge. So I'm not against you, I'm only against him. So maybe Krishna would have forgiven him. But he is not doing that. So he says, you are not planning to take shelter of Krishna and then you want help from me. This will never happen. So therefore we have to remain firm. Sometimes out of compassion or out of kripa, you can do things which go against Krishna or against Guru. So that should not be done. So he is teaching that I will never do anything which will upset Krishna. So therefore, I part. I have nothing to do with you. You better get away from here quickly and don't put me in trouble. If Krishna comes to know that you came to my house, I can be in trouble. So go away. Kamsaha sahanuga pito yadveshatyajitah shriya jarasandha saptadasha samyugan viratho gataha. So then he says that don't you know that Krishna, he killed Kamsa along with all his followers, beginning from Putana. And Kamsa lost all his wealth, all his power, his kingdom. He died, he left everything. And Jarasandha, who is so strong, 17 times Krishna defeated him. Not once, twice, thrice, but 17 times. So he says he broke all his chariot and killed all his army. So do you know his power? So that's why I said that he is speaking like this because of fear, and not that he should be with Krishna. Whether he has defeated Jarasandha and killed Kamsa or not, that's not the point. If you are a devotee of Krishna, then you should be with him. So now you are on his side, or you are not wanting to help Satadhanu because you are afraid. That means if Krishna was not powerful enough, then he will do it. That is the dhvani. That is the message which comes from this. So apito mritaha, apito means mrita, apya shabdasya amranarthakatvat, because the word apyaya can be taken up to death. Apya is used in the sense of diminution. In gatau dhatu. From that only have apita, but it says it can also mean death. Shriya triyajitaha tyaktaha. So Kamsa lost all his opulence. Yadva hataham iha yadveshat. Or rather he was killed because he was against Krishna. Svavishyagat heto Kamsa shriya tyajitaha. So because he was inimical towards Krishna, the wealth or Shri left him. Saptadashanam sanyuganam samaharas tasmat. And Krishna has defeated Jarasandha in battle 17 times. So I will not dare to go against him. That's what he says. Sopyaha ko viruddheta vidwan Ishvarayor balam yaidam lilya vishvam srijati avati hanticha. So he says, therefore, who is that foolish person, or rather, who is that intelligent person who would like to take or create enmity, opposition to these Ishwaras, Krishna and Balaram. Ishwarayor balam. Vidwan. Vidwan also means one who knows. So one who knows the strength of Krishna and Balaram, then who is that person knowing that he would try to do something to oppose them? He says only some foolish person will do, like Kamsa was doing, or Jarasandha. So we have seen what happened to them. So he says by his play, he creates this world, he demolishes it, he maintains it. And this is just a play. So we are just little beings inside the universe, which is created by him and destroyed by him. So how can we dare to go against him? Therefore, please forgive me, I will not help you. So evam kritvarmana pratyakhyata. So in this way, when Kritvarma had denied to help him, I think I did not read one line. Pratyakhyata sacha kruram parshnigraha maya chata sopyaha ko viruddheta vidvan ishwaror balam. So when he was denied help by Kritvarma, then he went to Akrura for help. And he also refused. He also said the same thing, that no, it is not possible. In fact, he went to Kritvarma first and not to Akrura, because he knew that Akrura is more devoted. So there is less chance that he will help me. Kritvarma may help. But Kritvarma refused, so now he has no other go but to go to Akrura. There is no one else who is going to help him. These are the two people who incited him to do this act of killing Satrajita. So then Akrura, he said that he is the creator of this universe, so I will not do this. Cheshtam vishwasrijo yasya na vidur mohita jaya. So he says that who does not know this, Cheshtam vishwasrijo yasya na vidur mohita jaya. Says only people who are bewildered by Maya, they do not know how he does this or who is he. He says the greatness of Krishna is not understood by people because they are under the influence of his Maya. So, mohitam na bhijanati. Being bewildered by Maya, people do not know him. Otherwise, he is Supreme Lord. So there is no chance that I will do that, because I am not like bewildered in that manner. I know him. So Ram Krishna ekameva tattvamiti vipretya yaiti mohito ajaya iti sandhirānsha. So earlier he had used dual case, Ishwarayor balam. Ishwarayor is Dvitiya Vibhakti, 7th case, 6th case. And now in the next line he is using singular, that one who creates it. So he says he is using singular by considering Krishna and Balaram as one. Otherwise he should have used dual case. Ya saptahayana shailam utpatyekena panina dadhara-līlya bala uchlindhram-ivarbhakaha. He says even as a boy of 7-year-old, he had uprooted Govardhan hill just like a mushroom with one hand and kept it up for 7 days without any effort. So you want to mess around with him? He says you must be a fool. and then you want that I help you. So you are in trouble and now you put me also in trouble. Better you handle it and spare me. I don't want any such problem. Namastasmai Bhagavate Krishnaya Adbhut Karmane Anantaya Adibhutaya Kutasthaya Atmane Namaha. And then he prays to Krishna. He says, I offer my respects to Bhagavan Krishna, who performs wonderful feat. He is unlimited, he is the source of all living beings. He is unchanging and he is the self or super self. My obeisances to him. So Akrura is more devoted, as you can see from his words, his prayers, and he is openly recognizing Krishna as Ishvara. So he is not just saying that he is wonderful or he is great, but he is Bhagwan. Very clearly he makes the statement. Pratyakhyatah satenapi shatadhanva mahamanim tasminyasya svamaruhya shatayo janagam yayav. So he was denied by Akrura also. And now also he is not thinking straight. When he is denied by Akrura, he is denied by Kritvarma. And it's not that he does not know who is Krishna, what all activities he has done. But still, he wants to run away. And he thinks that he can run away from Krishna. So where will he run? Just now Akrura said that he creates the universe. And he maintains it. And he is Atma, means he is the Paramatma. So where will he go? Is there any place where he is not there? But this is how people who turn against Krishna think. Who deny God, that's how they think that they can escape him. And here he is physically present, but still he is trying to run away from him. So this is unfortunate. So Janiya Suniya Biskainu. Right? Knowingly drinking poison. So he knows and still he is trying to avoid. So this is the mind when it is under the influence of Maya. This is how material mind thinks. That you can protect yourself from the wrath of God. So what he does is that he does not want to take the gem with him because it would not be safe. After all, he already saw that Satrajit's brother was killed by a lion. So he keeps the gem with Akrura. Safekeeping. So at least he trusts him still. Although Akrura is not helpful, but he says, okay, keep the gem, when I come back I will take it. He is hoping he will return. And then he takes a horse which can run 100 yojanas non-stop. So, Shati yojanagam asvamaruhya yayav. So he ran. So this is the intelligence. So when it is time for death, that's how intelligence thinks. So antakale viparita buddhi. So he is still not able to think that where will I run? So nyasya nyas rupena sthapitva iti. So he entrusted the gem to Akrura. He did not donate it. He did not give it to him. He says, keep it, it's my property. I will take it. Swatmanopi swadhane mamatva-adhikyam darshita. So this is, he says, it shows that how much he was attached to the gem more than his own life. that gems should be protected. Even if I am not protected, this should be protected. Shatayojana gamitvam tasya svabhave eva vipat praptatve tu bahushatayojana gaman samarthyam api geyam. So this horse could run 100 yojanas. This is natural for the horse. But if there was a calamity, he could run more. As we will see that he will run from Dwarka to Mithila. Mithila is on the other end, near Nepal. It's part of Nepal now. So he will go there, running with the horse, and the horse will drop dead once he arrives there. Because how much he can run. So ato Dwarkato Mithilaopvan paryantam ati kashtena gatva tatraiva ashvamrita iti vakshate. So therefore he ran from Dwarka up to Mithila, the forest or the garden of Mithila's king, and once he arrived there, then he dropped dead. Could not run more than that. So now Krishna runs, because this is what he wanted. He wanted this guy out. So he says, Garud Dhwaja Maruhya Ratham Rama Janardanav Anvayatam Vegai Asvai Rajan Gurudruham. So then both Krishna and Balaram, they rode a chariot, Krishna's chariot, which has flag which carries the insignia of Garuda. So they chased him, and their horses were very swift, swifter than his horse, so therefore they caught him. So he is called here as Guru Druha, means who was hateful to Satrajit. That Satadhanu they chased. So Satrajit is called Guru here. Guru Druham Swasura Hantaram. Guru Druha means the killer of the father. Mithilayam upvane Vishrujya Pattam Hayam Padbhyam Adhavata Santrasta Krishnopyan Vidravadrusa. So when he reached the garden of Mithila, then the horse dropped dead. He just collapsed. So now he has no choice. So he left the horse and then he started running like Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama was also running like that when Arjuna was chasing him. So he ran on foot. Padbhyam adhavat santrasta. He was full of fear. And then Krishna ran behind him. So Krishna also dropped his chariot. He did not use the chariot. He told Balaram, you sit and I will catch him. And Krishna can run. That we have seen. Right? He ran all the way from Mathura to Gujarat. So therefore he ran behind him and caught him. So this is the Leela. Even Krishna has to do all these things here in the material world. So Padater Bhagwan Tasya Padate Stigmane Nemina Chakrena Shira Utkritya Vasaso Vyachinotmanim. And Krishna was not just running by himself, he was running with a chakra, which is quite heavy. Even the swords, yesterday I saw a sword 1800-year-old. It is so heavy. So Padater Bhagwan Tasya. So Bhagwan, he also ran on foot. And Padati Stigmi Nemina. And he had a chakra, it had very sharp edges. And with that he cut the head of Satadhanu. And after cutting his head, he searched for the gem. So he went and checked all his pockets. So in the olden days they used to have a belt, just like these days you have money belt. In the olden days also people used to tie money around their dhoti. You can make a belt out of dhoti also, and then keep the money there. So Krishna searched and there was no gem. So now what is to be done? He was not successful in getting the gem. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Akrura manirasti iti sarvajñata jnatva api durat pashyato ramasya eva mohanartham vyachinot. Tan mohanam cha sasmad vyuktasya tasya swapriye bahulasve nirpe Krishna kripabhar prapanartham iti gayam. So it is very difficult to understand what Krishna is doing and what is his intention. So he gives one explanation. He says Krishna is omniscient. So he already knew that he does not have a gem. There was no need to run behind him. He could have stayed back and went to Akrura and said, okay, where is the gem? And then whatever, do with it whatever he wants to do. But still he searched it as if he does not know. And he searched it so that Balaram is looking. Because Balaram was watching. So he saw that Balaram is looking. So he wanted to bewilder Balaram. See, Krishna also plays tricks with Balaram. So Ramasya mohanartham vyachinot. Why he wanted to bewilder him? He wanted to make Balaram angry. Why he wanted Balaram to make angry? Because the king of Mithila, he is a great devotee. So he wanted that Balaram gets upset and then he will go to Mithila. And this way, the king will get blessings of Balaram. This whole thing is arranged for this purpose. That's why he ran all the way to Mithila. He could have caught him on the way because he is having a chariot which can run at the speed of Garuda because he is Garuda Dhwaja. But he did not. He kept on chasing him and the horse could have dropped 2 kilometers before. He died right in the garden of the king. So that's why he is saying that Swasmad viyuktasya tasya swapriye bahulasve. The king of Mithila is King Bahulasva. So he is a great devotee. So Krishna will also visit him later. But he sends Balaram there. So for the sake of his devotee, he is doing this. So he says he wants Balaram to be separated. Because Balaram will get angry. He says, why did you kill him unnecessarily? You should have caught him. Balaram thinking is that, why did you kill him? Could have caught him and asked him where is the gem or searched. You first cut his head off. And then he searched. So he says, I don't want to be with you. Because of this gem, so much problem. He says, you have this gem karma, so you go, I'm not coming with you. So Balaram leaves and he will go to Mithila and stay there for a few years. This is the most amazing thing that Balaram stays in Mithila, not 1 month, 2 months or a few days, for a few years he stays. That's unbelievable that he could separate himself from Krishna for years. He did not plan to do this, but he did it. So swapriye bahula swe nripe kripa bhar prapnartham iti gayam. So he says he wants that his dear devotee Bahulasva should get the kripa. Alabdhamaniragatya Krishna grajantikam vrithahata Satadhanurmanis tatra na vidyate. So when Sri Krishna could not get the gem, then he returned back and he told his brother Balaram that, look, I killed him unnecessarily. Vrithahata Satadhanu. He says he doesn't have the gem. So, but it was assumed that he has it. So now he becomes upset. Tataha balo nunam samani shadhanvana kasminchit purushe nyastam nyastastaman veshapuram braja. So when Balaram heard it, he got upset. It's not directly stated here, but it looks definitely, otherwise why would he say like this? So then Balaram said that definitely this Satadhanva must have entrusted the gem to somebody in Dwarka. He says, so now you go and you search for it, I am not coming with you. He says the gem is such a headache. Balaram is a simple person, he does not want to get into complicated stuff. He says, you go and Anvesha Puram Braja, go to Dwarka and search for it, who has it. Otherwise, you have the bad name that you have taken the gem or whatever. Aham videham ichchami drashtum priyatamam mama ityuktva mithilam rajan viveshayadu nandanaha. So he says that I am going to Videha, that is Mithila. I want to see my dear devotee, Bahulashva. And saying this, Balaram, he entered the city of Mathura. He did not spend much time with Krishna. He says, okay, now you go back and I part ways with you. I had enough of this gem drama. So, sarvagyasya evam cheshtritam mad vanchnaeviti matva tan mohitattvadeva tam prati gudhamanyuraha ahamiti. So then he says that Krishna, he knows what is going on. So Balaram understood that what Krishna is doing is that he is trying to trick me. Madhavanchanaya eva iti matva. So he also acted that he has been tricked. This is a very deep game, that one person is trying to trick the other one, thinking that he does not know that I am tricking him. And the other person should actually call out and say that don't try to trick me, what you are doing I know. So he behaves that he has been tricked. This is very deep. He says, you want to trick me? Okay, I will act as you have tricked me. And therefore he showed fake anger to him. And he says, okay, I'm leaving. He was not really angry, but he understood what he is doing. So he says, okay, you are doing this, so I will go along with your game. And you want to trick me so that I get angry, but I am not getting angry, but if this is what you want to say, I will get angry at you. So you feel happy. So you don't have to think that I did not get tricked. So you see, generally your ahankara would be that, how can you trick me? I know what you are doing. So he is keeping his ahankara down and going along with Krishna's plan and acting as if he is a fool. And he doesn't know what is happening. This is amazing. So Todiya Dwarkam api aham na yasyami Tvam swapriyaya mani swachande neva dehi iti bhava. So he says, I'm so angry at you. You are so tricky fellow that you unnecessarily killed this Satadhanu. Can you not think? When you ran, I did not think that you are going to kill. I thought you will catch him. Just like Arjuna caught Ashwatthama, he did not kill him. He bound him with the ropes and brought. And Krishna was saying, kill him, because you have promised his head to Draupadi. He said, I will bring his head so that he can stand on it and take bath. And he did not kill. And here, you did not promise such a thing to Satyabhama, that you will bring the head of Satadhanu, Dhanva. And why did you kill him? So now I am not coming to Dwarka. So you go and give this gem to your dear wife and be happy. I am leaving you. So then he enters into Mithila. Tam drishtva sahaso utthaya Mithilah pritamanasaha arhyamasa vidhivad arhaniyam samarhanai. So when he went there, then king of Mithila, he became very happy, because this was a sudden arrival. He was not expecting this. There was no plan. And such a big person comes unannounced. So he was very happy. So he got up and received him with proper process and worshipped him. So, Vasatasyam katichid mithilayam samavibhu manitaha priti yuktena janakena mahatmana. So, Balaram lived there for a few years, being respected by the king of Mithila, who was full of love for him. Manita ityasya vibhuriti itanyena anvaya. Manitaha priti yuktena janakena mahatmana tato shikshad gadam kale dhartarashtrasya suyodhana. And it is during this time that Duryodhana came to Mithila and he learned the art of club fighting from Balaram. So, because in this process now, the Pandavas, they were wandering in the forest, and he came and he learned, because he had danger from Bhima. Bhima was a very good club fighter and very powerful physically. So he knew that he has to face Bhima one day, therefore he prepares himself. He is intelligent. Keshvo dvarakametya nidhanam saddhanvanaha apraptim cha mani prahe priyaya prakrit vibhu. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he returned back to Dwarka after killing Satadhanva, and he came and reported to his wife Satyabhama that I could not find the gem there. He did not have it. Tataha sakaryamasa kriya bandhor hatasya vai sakam suhudbhir bhagwan yayasyu samparayika. So now they did the ceremony for the dead body. Till now the body was kept. So now Bhagwan, he got this Ardhodehik ceremony or Sampraik ceremony, which is whatever is to be done, the samskara for the dead body, along with the relatives. So this is... So priyaya priyakriditi ayur abhavadev tvat pita jivaitum ashakya kimtu tvat pitri hanta maya swastena ataiti priya pratyukta. So Krishna told to Satyabhama that, look, your father's lifespan was over, so therefore it is not possible to revive him. But I have killed the person who killed him, so I have taken the revenge, so feel satisfied. Don't be upset. Bandho Satrajita. So then he gathered all the relatives and cremated the body of Satrajita. So we'll stop here if there is any question to ask.
Babaji, in this chapter there were several occasions when it was said that Krishna behaved as an ordinary human being, and there was a verse, Aho na paramam kashtam. Could you please elaborate and explain what was going on in Krishna's mind? Because if he behaved as an ordinary person, but what did he feel in such occasions? Did he identify with this pain or with this sorrow during such situations or not? Or was it just external behavior?
He was not grievous, but he acted like one. That is the meaning.
Probably.
That's why it says lokachar, that he just followed the custom. Like somebody dies, maybe distant relative, you are not really very much attached to that person, or you are not very close, but if you have to visit, you also sit with people who are grieving and make your face little sad looking. So get along with everybody.
If we take this behavior as a practical example for us, wouldn't people consider our behavior to be hypocritical?
Why?
Because we don't really identify with this.
But how do they know? Are they sarvagya? Can they read your heart? So that's why. I mean, if you behave sometimes sad, sometimes laughing, then they'll think, what is he doing? But if you keep your face down, sad looking all the time, then how will they know that you are not feeling like that? Face is the index of the mind. Okay, Malati.
Babaji, there are many bewildering situations in this chapter.
Which one?
Is Akrura.
Which one?
So, well, here, for example, Akrura. So he understands who Krishna is. He even pays his obeisances. He explains everything. Before also he prayed to him. So he seems to be very devoted. But by recommending that his father-in-law should be killed, he's acting against him. So how does that go together?
Yeah, because father-in-law was not aligned with Krishna. Remember, father-in-law is the one who was spreading rumors against Krishna, so Akrura did not like it. He says, this guy is bringing infamy to Sri Krishna, so he doesn't deserve to live. Think it like that.
So was it really in favor of Krishna that he did that, or was it because he wanted a Jew?
This is difficult to figure it out. But you can think that he was favorable to Krishna. But you can also think that money can spoil your mind. That's why it is called money. See, in English the word money comes from money. Chintamani. Chintamani means the money which gives you anxiety. Chinta means anxiety, right? So, anxiety money.
You have mentioned in the previous class that it has been said also that Akrura did it because Satrajit has spread the rumor that so that Krishna get criticism. So my question is that if that is the case, then why does Akrura wants to get this Satadhanu gets killed, because he doesn't want to kill or he doesn't want to do anything with Satrajit, but he was incited by him and Kritavarma. So,
you see, when these stories are there, everything is not described here. You have to know that. Otherwise, this book will become Mahabharata. Why Mahabharata is so big? Because there are so many stories and so many details. So here the point is not that now you go into these kind of things. Point is being told that how human mind works. So there must be some other parts. For that you have to now do more research, go to Harivansh Mahapuran and see more details will be found there. Satadhanu already must have something against him. As we said that he has promised that he will marry. So then he was already upset. So therefore, otherwise somebody comes and tells you, you don't do it unless you also have something already. Someone comes and starts criticizing somebody, you immediately join that person. That means you also have something against that person. Otherwise you will say, no, he is not like that. Isn't it? So when you also have some dislike, some hatred, then you become party to that. So the Satadhanu must have something, although here from the story it is difficult to make out, but knowing how human mind works, we can assume it safely that Satadhanu must already have some negative feelings towards Satrajit. And these people knew this. So that's why they went and told him. Otherwise, why Kritavarma himself does not go and do it? If Satadhanu was intelligent, he would have thought that why these people are coming to me and why they don't do it themselves. So that means Satadhanu must already be on the brink of doing something against him, and they just tipped it. They just gave a little push and he did it. That's how it works. That's how also people make politics. When people turn someone against that person already must have something. And if you know it, then you go and do it. Some people are good at that. Anyone else? Yeah.
Pranam, Babaji Maharaj. Thank you very much for the class. This is regarding Balramji. What I understand is that Balramji is always there to serve Lord Krishna, is always by his side and things. So why would he leave him for a few years and stay at Mithila?
That's what Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, that because he wanted that this devotee get blessings, Bahulasva. This was one of the main reasons that this whole episode of running to Mithila and all that happened. Because Krishna himself will visit, if you have read Bhagavatam, then he also went. Remember, there one Brahmana is there, and then Krishna goes to both the houses. So he must be a great devotee. And Krishna is there where his bhaktas are there. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tisthami narada.
Thank you.
Okay.